What is going on YouTube? Yosan Arms and I'm back with another YouTube video. I wanted to start off by saying I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Really solid, really solid start to the month. I'm knocking on wood. We have a really good streak going. Payout coming out soon for me. Again, I'm not posting no payout. The only payout I will be posting ever is once I reach either a 5K payout or a 10K payout. All my payouts have been small. I'm just taking my time with things, really just practicing my craft for the most part, not sizing heavy or anything like that. Um, so really small payout coming out soon for me. Again, just glory to God. Praise the Lord for that. He's giving me the patience, and of course I'm doing my own part as well. But it goes hand in hand together, right? But for the most part, it was a really good day today because I got my journal. I got a new trading journal. I usually, yeah, I journal on paper. I journal on paper. I don't know about you guys. I know some people use Notion and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I trade on that. And I also like these pens. I picked up some new pens. The Pilot G2, the 0.5s. They're like they're like skinny. They're like the very fine point ones compared to the bold ones, like the 0.7s. I can't do that. Not only that, I'm left-handed, so like it smears. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm left-hand. Yeah, it's bad. So I get the skinny ones for the most part. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into our chart analysis for today. Want to start it off by saying, look on the higher time frame, just to see what we got. On the higher time frame, as you can see, 1 hour for rally gap. 1 hour for rally gap. Not only that, we also have an SMT with ES, right? So this candle was created at 7 a.m. We're going to go ahead and talk about this. But right now, we're holding bullish order flow. Obviously, we are tapping back into it. But on the higher time frame, we are holding bullish order flow, right? So let's go ahead and zoom in into the 15-minute, see what we can find. So for the most part, I was telling my chat, because I did commentary trades today. I was telling my chat I'm pretty much staying cash until I want to see what happens with news. There was news at 7 a.m., so I was basically just waiting until news were to happen and stuff like that, and then maybe start to look for a trade here. But as you can see here, we actually ended up taking buy side liquidity very early in the morning off market open. So we took buy side liquidity, right? So there was news at 7, right? So news at 7 sent us lower. This is a pretty good trade here. If you are, right, break a structure here for rally gap tap in, right? This is a really good trade here. If you're bearish for whatever reason, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bearish, but like for whatever reason that you were bearish, this was a good setup. Not only that, we would also have an inversion here as well. So really solid setup. If you were bearish for whatever reason again. But again, I was just basically just waiting until news to happen. This is a really good setup, by the way. I think if I was bearish, I would have taken that just because we took out the external draw here as well. So I was waiting for price to do its thing, right? So we actually hit 7 a.m. and the news we actually manipulated very low. We actually ended up coming back into the 1 hour for rally gap, and we took out some liquidity, right? We took out this liquidity down over here, as you can see. So we took out this liquidity. Not only that, we made an SMT with ES. Let me go ahead and show you guys. ES did not take out this low that NQ took, right? So now we have an SMT and we swept external draw liquidity. And on the higher time frame, on the 1 hour, again, so we're back to aligning the higher time frame models with the lower time frame models. I'm seeing bullish order flow, right? We tapped into this 1 minute for rally gap, pretty much turtle soup this low, created an SMT. What does that tell me? It tells me the draw liquidity wants to be a little bit higher. So now I'm paying attention to, okay, what could be my new draw, right? I'm looking for some sort of high, right? So we have this buy side here now, and I was just zooming around. Now I don't often zoom out this much, but I was zooming out for this one. I kind of just want to see what happened here at the 5, or like if there's anything like holding us back. And I start to see we have 5 minute for rally gaps over here as well, right? So we have 5 minute for rally gaps here, as you can see, that we basically tapped into and then went back lower for this news / macro time. So I'm like, okay, I want this buy side right over here. This is going to be my new draw of liquidity, right? This is going to be my new draw. Buy side liquidity right over here. And if price were really, really bullish, my draw would actually be, this high up here as well, right? This would be my draw, right? This would be another target as well if we wanted to continue heavy bullish order flow. So let me go ahead and do this buy side. So yeah, so we took that out. Again, I showed you guys what happened here, and I'm like, okay, really solid. Really, actually, this is every person's dream for a reversal. That V shape, like this looks absolutely wild. This is good. Now, if you trade inverse for value gaps, I mean, you could have taken this right over here. You could have like premature fired this for value gap. I know you're supposed to wait for candle closes, but that doesn't actually end up happening until all the way over here. So your stop loss would have looked a little bit wonky, right? Your stop loss would have looked a little bit wonky. So I wasn't playing that for the most part. But I was having my eye on this 1 minute for value gap here. Now, initially, what I wanted us to do is I wanted to wait for this 5 minute to confirm that my draw of liquidity of this high up here is correct, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. We don't really need this one, right? Because again, us as market people, we want to observe. We don't want to predict, right? So we easily could have done this and then just sent us to lows, right? Wanting us to go lower. So I was actually just waiting for this 5 minute for value gap right over here to go inverse, just to confirm that potentially, make my draw of liquidity higher probability of being hit. So I was waiting for this. As you can see here, we created a 1 minute order block right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and title this, not 1 minute, 5 minute, right? 5 minute order block. And look what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and draw out my Yan box here, right? So the top of the range to the bottom of the range. We're currently in equilibrium, as you can see here. Not only are we tapping into, we're respecting this 5 minute for value gap, we're also respecting equilibrium of the range, right? And we're also tapping into a 1 minute for value gap here as well. So I'm actually, okay, my draw of liquidity is gonna be correct. I feel a little bit more, I feel like my draw is a little bit more probable, right? Like the probability has gone up. And so for the most part, I was waiting for a trade. As soon as we inverse this, I wanted us to see a reversal back into here, but I wanted to see a retrace back into here to send us higher. But one of the people in my chat, shout out Sanu, great guy, he was like, "Did you take this?" I was like, "No, I didn't. I didn't like this speed right here. This candle right here. You see how we were like slowly climbing up? I didn't like the speed of this candle. Really, I didn't like the retracement speed into this right here. Right? If it was a little bit slower, like a little bit calmer, maybe I would have taken this into the highs. But again, I did not end up taking this. But I was still pretty much bullish here. And so as you can see, there should be another, yeah, so here we are. So there's an SMT. I didn't take this. I'm still waiting for my setup. I'm still waiting for something to tell me, like something with a good RR, something with a good risk, right? We do have an SMT here, and we had swept this internal low down here as well, right? So we swept this out. Okay. So we're back to aligning the higher time frame model. So again, on the higher time frame, on the 1 hour, like I showed you guys, we're bullish. We swept out external draw, SMT with ES. We are in equilibrium of the range, and we're on a 5 minute order block here is kind of being respected. And I'm like, okay, my eyes are on this 1 minute for rally gap. This 1 minute for rally gap here gets inversed. I'm in here like swimwear, right? So I go ahead, I take this, a little premature right here actually. Yeah, I don't know why. I thought this was going to close. I wanted to get like a really good stop loss thing. And yeah, so this was the trade I ended up taking. I took out some right over here, and I saw an SMT with ES. Let me go ahead and show you guys where that SMT is. Yeah, here it is. So there's an SMT with ES here as well, right? As soon as I see that we place an SMT here, although I want this SMT to not be real, I want it to just, kind of just like, oh, I just want us to rip to this highs. I don't want this SMT to actually work, right? Because I want to see this. I want to see my buy side get hit for around 50 points. So I took out a partial here, partial here. At this point, I'm basically like 90% out. I literally have one micro left, and that one micro actually ends up coming to a break even. And I was like, damn, bummer, right? I was watching this 1 minute for rally gap. I was kind of hoping that we were to retrace back into this and then continue higher, right? But we don't. That doesn't happen. I mean, we kind of do retrace back to it and continue higher, but not to the full extent to where we hit my draw, right? So that pretty much happened. So that was the trade for today. Really solid. I think this was around, let me see. Yeah, so around 43 points. And then my last micro got stopped out for break even. Again, it's whatever. Really solid. And I pretty much just logged off the charts at that point. Let me go ahead and see what's happening down over here. Yeah, okay. Okay. So this 1 minute for rally gap actually kind of plays here. If you look, we also have an SMT here. Now, at this point, I'm kind of just reading price as of right now. I logged off the charts, but I'm just looking to see if I can find like a decent trade here that were to catch this reversal. So we retrace back this again. I also want to show you guys, and I pointed this out to my Discord, right? So top of the range to the bottom of the range. Look what price came to do, right? Price wanted to retrace back into equilibrium of the range before continuing higher. So on the bright side, my draw of liquidity was correct. Just the market has other plans, and it just didn't want to take it at that point in time. It wanted to retrace back into equilibrium and then continue higher, right? And I mean, that's fine. I'm still happy that, you know, my draw of liquidity was correct. But for the most part, it's kind of annoying. Like every trader just wants this to just hit the, you know, your actual draw of liquidity, and then you're done, right? So let me go ahead and see. So I don't really see much here. I do see this 1 minute for value gap here, but this is kind of wonky. Yeah, I'm not really. We do have a small SMT just with these two candles down over here. Maybe I guess you could have entered off of this 1 minute inverse, as you can see. If you were to remain bullish, you know, stop loss down over here, and then have your, right, this would be the draw, right? So 58 points here as well. But I don't really see much going on here in terms of setups. Yeah, I don't really see much going on here in terms of setups here to catch that move. Yeah, there's no actual clean for value gap or anything here. Right, so what major low down here? Is there anything on a 2 minute? No, I'm not seeing anything, to be honest here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, well, for the most part, I think that's pretty much it for this. Everything else is pretty choppy. Let me go ahead and show you guys this on the 5 minute. Look at this. This is just chop. Look, this is absolutely horrible down like up here. This is bad PA. You know, it's surprising here too, because if you look at this, we went from external draw to external draw, right? It's crazy that hardly ever happens, right? External draw, back to external draw, right? So we literally just ping ponged back up and down. And that's why I'm saying, like, today was a really good price reading day. Yeah, today was a really good price reading day. I'm writing in my journal. I wrote in my journal that, you know, I pat on myself on the back, you know, for having a correct draw. Even though it didn't really, my trade didn't fully hit all the way. You know, I was happy at the fact that, you know, my draw was correct. I was able to read price a little better compared to other days, right? So again, this is really good. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this video. Again, I appreciate you guys for sticking around if you made it to end this video. Thank you guys so much for the support. Shout out to the 215 followers I have on YouTube. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.